stats on LinkedIn. Currently, there's about 300 million LinkedIn users, and I want to contrast it to Facebook because Facebook is much more mature than LinkedIn is, and what we believe is that LinkedIn as it stands today is a significant opportunity. What we also believe is that LinkedIn is going to continue to be even more important. I heard someone say a month ago that they thought, oh, I think LinkedIn's kind of peaked. That is just absolutely not true. 2 years from now, LinkedIn will be significantly more important than it is, and 5 years from now, it will be even more important than it is 2 years from now. LinkedIn is going to explode. It is still early on the LinkedIn bandwagon. And here's what makes me say that. The average LinkedIn user spends 17 minutes a month, repeat, a month on the site. The average Facebook user, average, of which there are 1.4 billion, spends 40 minutes a day on Facebook. That is a factor of 70. That is the growth opportunity for LinkedIn. Now, I don't think that it's going to bridge that gap of all 70 times, but if it only does 5 out of the 70, that means that there's going to be a lot more business people using LinkedIn. And I heard a stock analyst say something interesting about LinkedIn, and they said LinkedIn is far more dangerous than Facebook is, even though Facebook's more valuable, because Facebook can never be LinkedIn, but if LinkedIn wants to be Facebook, they can. And they're right. Facebook is for personal stuff, not for business. LinkedIn is the business site, and we have ways to lever it. A couple more stats real quick. 29% of Americans use Facebook during work hours. Isn't that great for your productivity? 29% use Facebook. Only 8% use LinkedIn, which actually is for business and would be legitimate to use for business, a factor of almost 4. LinkedIn is by far the best social network for lead generation over Twitter and Facebook, approximately 4 times more effective than Facebook or Twitter for generating a B2B lead. LinkedIn is the place to do that. I would contend that LinkedIn is cold calling version 3.0. If you pick up the phone was version 1, and as Predictable Revenue, the book talks about, lead generation 2.0 was emailing. I think there's too much spam in email, and it's too easy to get ignored there. What LinkedIn does is give you a highly deliverable email and presence on the person's logged in version of LinkedIn as well. But LinkedIn is cold calling 3.0. So here's a specific example. I know a gentleman that runs a pretty big lead generation company. All they do is generate leads for companies. He used to have 35 full-time telemarketers that worked for him 1 year ago. 1 year ago. Today, he effectively has 0 telemarketers. That he has 6 instead of 35 people that do what he calls remarketing, meaning once they generate a lead another way, those people pick up the phone and say, hey, we saw you're interested, but they generate no new interest via the phone. They have moved all those resources basically to LinkedIn. That they generate for B2B clients over 70% of their leads from LinkedIn, up from 10% a year ago and up from 0% 2 years ago. This is the power of LinkedIn. I would contend that there are kind of 3 phases or 3 steps that you can take on LinkedIn. You must take the first phase, and that is what I'll call reputation management. You've got to be real, and you've got to manage your profile to a certain extent, or else you're just ignoring LinkedIn and you will be punished for it. People are checking you and your company out on LinkedIn, and you need to do that. So the first thing is you got to get your profile in order. I would contend you need to have 500 plus connections. I would contend you need to have 99 plus skill endorsements on at least 1 skill, ideally 2. I would contend you need to have written recommendations, 2 for each company you have worked for in the last 10 years, that you need to add some rich media to your profile. And then if you want to get fancy, you could do a little SEO on your profile, get fancy with your title. This is a hot new area of SEO for LinkedIn because LinkedIn is so important. You should also have a company page. We have a company page at CEO Focus that we didn't even pay attention to, and we've now grown that to 15,000 followers. Not that that's super important to have 15,000 followers, but it gives us one huge opportunity. And that is that we can push content that we want to 15,000 people with the push of 1 button. Far better than blasting out an email. And then I think you have to have some base level content. Most of us are in the education-based marketing business, meaning that the best way to sell a customer is to educate a customer, and LinkedIn gives us an opportunity to do that with content. Now, if you want to graduate and you want to go to phase 2, that's where you can generate some leads. This will not make you happy, but here's the stat. The stat is that if you will post 20 items per month, you will reach 80% of your audience. It's the LinkedIn 80-20 rule. I am a pragmatist, and I know that most of you will not do 20 posts per month. That is a lot for most people. However, if you want to maximize it, that's the number that you need to hit. My recommendation, outsource it. It's no different than people that outsource the writing of your blog. Interesting side fact, we actually have one of our blogs that gets a lot of traffic that we have found we get more value taking what used to be a blog post and posting it on LinkedIn instead of posting it on our blog, that we get more traction from LinkedIn than even posting it on our own blog that still gets quite a bit of traction. We recommend that you follow what I'll call a dating strategy. You don't walk up to someone in a bar and say, hey, you want to get married. It doesn't work. It's too much, too fast. Old-fashioned lead generation, it used to be a lot less steps. Now you need to get someone interested. You need to court them with useful information so that they can bot that. People don't have time. They're very busy. They're interrupted all the time. And if they're going to give you some of their time, energy, and attention, you need to make it worth their while to do so. And hey, I think you would be a great customer for me is not, no matter how much it's true, is not a good first use of their time. So that's where education comes in. There is some software that you can leverage both from a reporting perspective and a little bit of getting the tedious tasks of LinkedIn out of your hair. Consider that if you want to go to this phase. And then the third phase of LinkedIn is my favorite. And I'm going to call this virtual you, because this is the dream of every business owner. Every business owner I have ever met, including myself, wants the same thing, mini-me. Boy, do you know how much I could accomplish around here if I just had someone with the exact same skill level as me, the exact same work ethic as me, the exact same knowledge as me. They were a clone of me. Now we'd really have something at this business. That's obviously impossible. They even made a funny movie about it called Multiplicity with Michael Keaton, and it didn't work out very well for Michael Keaton in the movie either. But what LinkedIn allows you to do is lever yourself in a way that just isn't possible. So we have several clients that have outsourced the management either to someone internally or to someone on our team of their LinkedIn profile and their LinkedIn activity. You know, I don't think Bill Gates is answering his LinkedIn emails. I think just like someone answers his Outlook emails, someone is taking care of Bill Gates's LinkedIn profile. And you can do the same thing, that you can get all of the benefits of LinkedIn and delegate a lot of that work, and the people on the other end will not know it is not you answering that email if you do a good job with it. This is powerful stuff. This is what every business owner wants, is the ability to lever themselves in a way. And if you've got someone good to manage your LinkedIn profile, you can do exactly that. So I strongly suggest that you can